Hello there, this is Benny.
And this is Kyle.
And you're listening to The Doctor's Watcher,
the playing card enthusiasts podcast about every episode of Doctor Who.
The clown-free podcast about... Nope. Sometimes we have clowns.
I wonder if we need to put a content warning on the clown episode.
I think technically no, but... All right, well, I know we caught up a little bit at the start of the previous episode, but we're recording this one right after, so... What else have you been up to, Kyle, besides having foundation work done on your house?
So yesterday, actually, I left the contractors at the house to do foundation work while I went out on a work outing where we shot paintballs at each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Have you done paintball before?
This was the second time I've been paintballing. The first time was probably 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah, so it's been a while.
Uh-huh.
No.
So yeah, it was pretty fun.
Like a holiday type of outing because it's early December here as we're recording this.
I don't think it was specifically for the holiday or anything. It was actually, funny enough, it was actually originally scheduled for April of 2020, and that outing was canceled.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess they're just like finally getting around to being like, hey, we should do that paintballing thing.
Cool. How'd you do?
The team I was on, I left like halfway through the day because I wanted to come back home and check up on the contractors. So
yeah.
In the games that I was present for, I think we won one of the three.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get the TARDIS back, though, with those numbers.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to. What about you?
Well, I have not gone paintballing, although I do have a work outing coming up where we're going to a place called Tipsy Putt. We're not sponsored, but I just found the name amusing. Where it's like an indoor miniature golf course with alcohol.
Nice.
Neither thing is really my jam, but I haven't seen my colleagues in person in a while because I tend to work remote. So I figure that'll be the main draw is just seeing folks again.
Yeah. I actually am kind of a sucker for mini golf.
I'll play it. Like when I visited my family over the summer, we played a round of mini golf. But besides that, my partner and I have been watching the anime Pluto on Netflix,
Nice.
Which is the anime adaptation of one of our favorite manga series by Naoki Urasawa, who's one of our favorite manga creators. So yeah, that's been pretty good. It's a fantastic manga. It's excellent. It's based on a story by Osamu Tezuka, actually, who did Astro Boy, or Mighty Atom in the original Japanese.
Nice.
So, very cool. Worth checking out.
Well, also potentially worth checking out, I guess we'll find out at the end of the serial, is... the 31st episode of Season 3 of Doctor Who, The Hall of Dolls.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the second episode of The Celestial Toy Maker.
Yep. We're just hoping there's no clowns among those dolls. Or no more clowns. We've had some already. So, Kyle, won't you tell us? I'm on top of it this time. How'd you watch it?
So this was another reconstruction.
Dang.
I do want to say that these are pretty good reconstructions.
Okay.
Yeah. The photo stash that I mentioned in the previous episode that they got access to must have had like a lot of good photos. It seems like fairly comprehensively covering the episodes. So
Nice.
And then, they've also done some CGI, which, being from 2012 is not terrible.
But not amazing, I suspect.
Yeah, it's nothing mind-blowing, but it's decent for what it is. So, yeah. Reconstruction, but these are pretty watchable reconstructions.
Cool. I dig it.
Would you remind us of our Cliff Dingler?
Well, our Cliff Dangler was sort of a riddle, which we got at the end of the last one. Our heroes, the doctor is playing a game, like a logic puzzle with the celestial toy maker, while Steven and Dodo have won one game against clowns, and have moved through this fake TARDIS into the next game area. But within that TARDIS, they found a riddle. So curious to find out more about what that meant.
Indeed. It just occurred to me, like, the celestial toy maker talked about how he wants the doctor to stick around and play all these games with him.
But we ship it.
What that actually seems to mean, or at least has meant so far, is that the doctor plays a single player game while the celestial toy maker, like, taunts him.
Hey, some people like to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still into it. I still ship it. I just thought it was funny.
Yep.
So Dodo and Steven head through the fake TARDIS into the next room, where they basically just find a door.
That was easy.
Yep. It takes them a bit of work to get, I guess, the locks on the door undone and open, but they do.
Okay, yeah, this might be one where having it as a reconstruction might kind of diminish this scene.
Yeah. We cut back over to the toy maker's study, where the doctor is now on move 416 and has not made a mistake yet.
Yeah, we know he can't afford to make even a single one. He has to complete this in 1,023 moves, I think. Yeah,
right.
Don't check my work. And the main thing is that this game is also serving as a sort of timer for Dodo and Steven, who have to complete all their games before the doctor finishes his.
Right.
So just catching the listeners up.
We've got like multiple levels of games going on here.
Games within games.
The toy maker reminds the doctor of this whole premise where, of course, Steven and Dodo have to win all their games and find the real TARDIS before the doctor finishes his. And, the consequence if this does not happen is that they will all become the toy maker's playthings for eternity.
Yeah, we're hoping not to have that happen.
So the doctor, who is mostly invisible and intangible.
He is a hand.
He sees on the view screen that Steven and Dodo are in a room with some chairs in it.
That game, I might have known.
Yeah, that one.
So his hand floats over to a control panel where it presses a button, and the doctor's voice tells Steven and Dodo over the intercom to take care. He's about to tell them a particular chair number, but he stops speaking.
You fool! Now I have been forced to make you dumb as well as intangible. You cannot speak until you have reached the second to last move of the trilogic game. Now then, let them play their games whilst you play yours.
William Hartnell gets even more of a vacation.
Yep, basically.
I wonder if this is even his hand.
Getting bored of the recording studio, I guess. The toy maker advances the doctor's game to move 444 and then selects the Heart family from a deck of playing cards to be Steven and Dodo's next opponents.
Well, at least it's not clowns. I'll take playing cards.
Steven and Dodo wonder what it was that the doctor was trying to warn them about. And the toy maker appears to tell them that he took the doctor's voice away and that this should be a warning to them, basically like what could happen if you don't follow the rules of the game.
Yeah, only the clowns are allowed to cheat. Don't be like the clowns, Dodo and Steven.
He disappears, and the two of them examine the 3 odd-looking chairs.
What odd-looking chairs? Perhaps these are what the doctor was trying to warn us about.
They are indeed odd-looking.
They solve the first half of the riddle at this point. 4 legs, no feet, of arms no lack, it carries no burden on its back. They are able to realize that it might be referencing chairs.
Nice.
They're not sure what to make of the second part, though. 6 deadly sisters, 7 for choice, call the servants without voice.
I think we might be about to find out.
A moment later, a queen and king walk into the room.
Very cool. I'm going to guess that they're a heart-themed couple.
Yeah, they're not like super, super heart-themed, but they definitely look like playing card characters.
Okay, cool.
It's actually the same actors who played the clowns.
Well, okay, I guess they liked them in the casting department.
I don't know if you ever watched Allo Allo.
I did. I quite dig it. Some of the jokes haven't aged super well, but it's still a fun show.
Edith, the woman who plays Edith in Allo Allo, is actually the queen and the happy clown.
Oh, no. Oh, well, I do like her. I mean, it's a fun cast. But
yeah. So the playing card characters dismiss Steven and Dodo as peasants and then start talking amongst the two of themselves about how they need to find the king's throne, but none of these chairs look like it.
Interesting.
Steven basically tells Dodo to ignore them, and he heads through a door that he finds, takes Dodo with him.
Yeah, Steven, I think you can't just walk out of the escape room there, bud.
The Knight of Hearts shows up, or the Knave of Hearts, I guess, since it's British. And he apparently visually references some fictional British character that I'm not familiar with, Billy Bunter.
I have no idea.
All you British listeners, maybe you know. I guess this is a guy.
Yeah.
What I
guy
briefly read.
Dude.
Yeah. What I briefly read is that Billy Bunter is sort of like a mischievous schoolboy or something like that.
Sure.
So the Knave of Hearts shows up. The Joker is with him.
Watch out, Celestial Toymaker. Who listeners will recall is played by the guy who plays Alfred in the Tim Burton movies.
The Queen, at this point, notices that Steven and Dodo have left, and the King, saw them leave, but didn't mention it because the Queen didn't ask him about it, is what he says.
Fair enough.
So, he points out where they went, and she and the King follow after them.
Cool.
It turns out they are over in this other room with 4 more chairs in it. So there are 7 chairs altogether.
That sounds a little familiar.
This room also has 4 big cupboards, I guess, that are shaped just like the TARDIS. So 4 kind of police box looking things.
Cool. Nice merchandising opportunity there.
They think again about the second half of the poem and decide that maybe it's still talking about the chairs. Their theory is that 6 of the chairs must be dangerous or deadly somehow, and only 1 of them is safe to sit in.
Yeah, that sounds like the sort of thing the Celestial Toymaker would do.
Yeah, definitely. 6 deadly sisters, 7 for choice. And then, of course, also call the servants without voice, which they still don't understand.
Hope it's not clowns.
They start opening...
Or mimes. Oh, Kyle, hold on. I hope it's not mimes.
They start opening these TARDIS-like cupboards, and one of the 4 won't open, but the other 3 each has dolls inside of it. 2 of these 3 cupboards have 2 dolls each, and those dolls are sort of like playing card characters themselves. They've got like wooden arms and legs, and then like sort of playing card front and back, pretty similar to like the Disney Alice in Wonderland playing card characters.
Okay.
So we've got 4 of those dolls, 2 in 2 cupboards each. Mm-hmm. The other cupboard has 3 dolls, which are basically like sort of ballerina dolls.
I wonder if we have to put the dolls on the chairs somehow.
As Stephen and Dodo are basically pulling the playing card dolls out of the cupboards, the one with the 3 ballerina dolls closes, like the door closes. I should also mention that when I say dolls, these are like big dolls. These dolls are like the size of a 10-year-old child, probably.
Oh, wow. Deluxe.
So yeah, it takes a bit of effort to like get them out of the cupboard and move them around and stuff.
Gotcha. You can't just grab an armful of them.
Right. The king and queen show up in this room and wonder what's going on here. And Dodo explains the theory that she and Stephen have formed about the dangerous chairs, and also explains that they intend to use the dolls to test the chairs.
Ah, good thinking.
The queen is like, cool. There are 4 dolls, so we each must be meant to get one.
Okay, not sure I follow, but sure.
Uh-huh. Dodo is almost like, but there are 7 dolls. But Stephen successfully gets her to shut the fuck up.
Excellent. I mean, not that I support a man, making a woman not speak, but yeah, it seems like not a thing you want to reveal at this point.
Yeah. He's basically just like, we'll go test some chairs back in the other room. And so he and Dodo each get a doll and go back to the first chair room that they came from.
If you used all 4 of the dolls and you made the king and the queen both sit on a chair, you'd be up to 6 chairs, and then presumably if those were all deadly, then the 7th would be safe.
Right, yeah.
I'm guessing the king and the queen would not let us get away with that, though.
And the camera operator actually stays with the king and the queen, who are, of course, trying to find the king's throne. In their conversation, they basically talk about how they're victims of the toy maker too, and they need to like find the throne or they'll never escape him.
I'm not sure if this toy maker is going to let you go, even if you do find the throne, you guys.
Uh-huh. The queen tells the king to pick a chair at random. There are 4 chairs here. We need to start testing them. So
not sure that's the best strategy.
The king mumbles an outdated and quite offensive version of the eeny, meeny, miny, mo rhyme in order to pick a chair.
Scale of 1 to 10, how offensive are we talking about here?
This is definitely going to be a 10.
Uh-huh. So we're saying it has the N-word in it?
Yeah, that's what is in it, yeah.
Doctor Who, not okay.
Yeah. I did read, this is in no way excusing it, but I read that it was not in the script. The script basically just said that, like, he does the rhyme, and it was the actor who chose to do the version of the rhyme that has the word in it.
I know we talk about how it was very expensive at the time to reshoot scenes, so that's why a lot of mistakes and things end up in the actual show. I feel like for that one, you could shell out for more film.
Yeah. Apparently,
if someone flubs a line or a special effect doesn't quite work the way it's supposed to, sure, it's a kids show. They weren't expecting reruns. I get it. Someone says the N-word, you can do a reshoot.
I read that, a lot of these missing episodes, the audio of the episode has been released basically as like an audio book with like, narration added and stuff. And I didn't listen to it, but apparently in like the official audiobook version of the serial, which is narrated by Peter Purves, his narration just kind of like talks over it, so you can't hear it.
Oh. Hey. Well, good. Oh, geez. Okay.
Hey folks, isn't this a good podcast? If you like what you hear, let us know. You can do that on social media or by email, or by leaving a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Another thing you can do if you like this show is let your friends know. Word of mouth is the best way for us to get new listeners. And now, back to the show. So, the king picks a chair. He puts his doll into the chosen chair. He's about to sit in it himself, but the queen stops him and is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, good call, queen.
So he puts the doll into the chair, and these metal clamps, like, hold on to the doll as the chair starts violently vibrating. Stephen and Dodo get to the other room where the knave and the Joker are napping.
Oh, wait, Jove, Joe Cave,
Naveker.
Yeah,
I kind of like
anyway.
Jove, maybe.
Sure, yeah, Jove.
Stephen now confirms for Dodo, now that they're away from the king and queen, that, yeah, we're trying to keep these other 3 dolls secret for now.
Well, we better hope those 2 really are asleep then, if we're just talking about our plan out loud here.
He tells her to throw her doll into a chair. 6 of these chairs are deadly, so he doesn't want to even get close to them.
Good call.
So
I feel like
she
this is
does.
the sort of thing that you do in D&D, yes?
She does, and when the doll lands in the chair, there's sort of an electricity sound effect, and the doll starts smoking.
Oh, yikes.
Some sort of electrocution. That could have been us.
Yep.
The knave...
Well, 2 down, 5 to go.
The knave wakes up at some point, and I think maybe he's scared by the doll getting electrocuted or something, because he just runs down the passage to the other room that the king and queen are in.
Okay.
Stephen throws his doll into one of the other chairs, which starts spinning faster and faster until it flings the doll out against the wall.
Oh, yikes. I do enjoy that the writers had to come up with a different thing for each chair to do, and then they had to kind of rig it up somehow, so I appreciate the effort.
And that the loose cannon reconstructionists like CGI'd most of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Back in the other room, the king's doll is starting to fall apart from the stress of the shaking. Like, we see its head fly off and stuff.
Oh, dear.
The knave shows up in the room, and the king suggests that he try a chair.
Nice. It's good to be king.
Mother! Did you hear what he said?
Oh, no, it's a family thing. I think you all need therapy. Need counseling.
The king says it was just a little joke.
Oh, boy.
He puts the fourth doll into a chair, which then slowly vanishes along with the doll.
Okay, cool. Still remaining creative with what the chairs do.
So we've now burned through the 4 dolls. The king and queen still have 2 chairs left in their room that are untested. And they are correctly assuming that Stephen and Dodo must have also not succeeded yet, or the toy maker would have visited.
Makes sense.
So they're trying to figure out what to do when the king has an idea.
I know! The fool!
At least they didn't try to make Dodo and Steven sit in the chairs. Unless they consider one of them the fool. It's like, no, they're the fool, and that's the Joker.
So he and the queen head off to the other room to collect the fool, and the knave runs after them, calling for his mother.
So I guess we're meant to assume that at least the 3 of them are a normal family that got stuck in this game, and now we're hoping that the fool is not.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
But we'll see. Or maybe.
Stephen and Dodo, of course, also still have 1 untested chair in their room, and also no dolls left.
But they also have a fool.
Stephen tries investigating the chair, but he rolls a 1 on his investigation check.
Oh.
No, it's no use. Can't tell a thing just by looking at it. We'll have to get those other dolls.
They see the king and queen coming, so Stephen decides to try to distract them while Dodo goes to the other room, gets the dolls from the 3rd cupboard, and tests the chairs in that room.
Good plan.
So Stephen talks to the king and queen for a minute about how, we're out of dolls, looks like we're at an impasse here. The king is like, I don't know, I've got sort of a secret plan, and goes and wakes the Joker up. And about this time, Dodo comes back and tells Stephen that the cupboard with the other 3 dolls is locked. The king and queen hear this. She didn't try to, whisper or be at all secretive. She just said it.
Well, the DM didn't specify how close they were.
So they hear it, and they head into the other room to, I guess, try to get the dolls themselves. It's kind of unclear. They accuse Stephen and Dodo of cheating and then head out of the room. They take the Joker, or the fool, and the knave with them.
Oh, good luck to that fool, I guess.
Stephen basically tells Dodo that she's just handed the game over to them. They're going to have the Joker sit in one of the 2 remaining chairs in that room, and if the correct chair is not the one in Stephen and Dodo's room, they're fucked.
Well, I mean, I guess just having the fool sit in one chair still leaves another chair in the other room, right? Am I not following that correctly?
Well, I think, Stephen's saying that the fool sits in one chair, that leaves the other chair in the king and queen's room. So if the correct chair is not the one in Stephen and Dodo's room,
then it would be
the king
that
and queen
chair
have
that's
it.
Remaining. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But they would have no way of knowing that.
Yeah, I guess his idea is just that they would just go ahead and test it and would just get it before Stephen and Dodo get a chance.
Okay.
He turns away in frustration, and Dodo sits in the remaining chair in their room.
Person of action.
We cut over to the toy maker's office, just long enough for him to give an update to the invisible, intangible, non-speaking doctor.
Yep.
You've been moving along very satisfactorily. It's especially commendable considering that young Dodo has chosen to sit in the wrong chair. The freezing chair.
No.
We cut back, and sure enough, Dodo's freezing. She tells Steven that she can't move and that she feels cold all through. He tells her to stand up, but like, dude, she's freezing. She's sitting in the freezing chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
She thinks that she's turning to ice. He tells her to fight it and to try to stand up. He doesn't, like, pull her out of the chair or anything. He just kind of tries to, like, talk her through not freezing, I guess.
I guess if he touches her, it might affect him too.
Yeah, it's not really clear. He does eventually just pull her out of the chair, and then she's fine.
Oh, okay.
Could have tried that like a few minutes earlier, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, we had episode time to fill.
Yeah. Over in the other chair room, the king is asking the Joker for his opinion on which chair is better. The Joker chooses chair number 6, which has this like cool spirally wire design.
Nice.
The king and queen tell the Joker to go sit in it, but he's like, no, fuck that. I quit my job, and he leaves.
Excellent. You can always hit the bricks.
The knave follows him out, so it's just the king and queen left in the room, and the king tells the queen that she'll have to sit in the chair to test it, and she's like, fuck that.
Yeah, buddy.
So they decide to both sit in it together.
We will both sit in it.
And if we go together.
My love.
How romantic. I don't recommend it.
They both sit down in the chair, and for a moment, nothing happens, and they even have like a line or two of dialogue about how they're all right, and they were worried about nothing. And then the chair just sort of like closes in on them, and just kind of like bends them over and traps them.
Oh, well, I guess are they still alive?
Unclear at this point.
Oh man, is it just gonna start squeezing? Then, yeah, it's not that type of show.
Yeah. Steven and Dodo get back into this room. Of course, there's only one chair now, and we know it's the correct chair.
Yeah.
So Steven goes and sits in it.
Cool. No, he's the king.
There's a loud noise, sort of like a rumbly noise, and the TARDIS appears.
Yay, we win.
Dodo goes over and checks it, but of course it's another fake. And they realize at this point that they never solved the final part of the riddle, call the servants without voice.
And then the servants without voice appear.
Dodo first is like, how the fuck are we supposed to call without voice? But then they realize that maybe it's talking about the dolls. Maybe the dolls are the servants without voice.
Didn't you say they were like ballerina dolls?
Yeah, there were the playing card dolls and the ballerina dolls.
No, I'm not sure if I'd call those servants, but you know what? I didn't make up these riddles.
They had actually had this thought that maybe the servants without voice are the dolls, like much earlier in the episode. I didn't mention it at the time, but they tried like calling to the dolls and nothing happened.
Oh.
But they try it again now. Steven calls to the dolls, and when he does, a telephone inside of the fake TARDIS starts to ring.
Oh man, those servants have no voice. What eldritch horror is going to be on the other end?
Steven answers the phone, and it's the toy maker.
Oh, okay. I guess he could be an eldritch horror.
He tells them that they're doing well, but they'd better step it up because the doctor's doing even better.
Yeah, dang it, Doctor, you're too good at this.
He gives them their next clue, which is...
Hunt the key to fit the door that leads out on the dancing floor. Then escape the rhythmic beat, or you'll forever tap your feet.
Oh, they're just going to have to play some DDR.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yeah, this one's less of a riddle and more of just instructions.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I'm into it. And then the words on the screen appear?
Not quite. We're just about there.
Oh, okay.
They basically take one last look in the chair room and...
Oh, yeah, the king and the queen are still in the chair. That's awkward.
What they see now is the chair with just 2 playing cards on the seat, like 2 actual playing cards.
Oh, okay. Well, rip.
Uh-huh.
But don't actually rip them.
The back of the fake TARDIS swings open, revealing a dark passageway, presumably to the next game.
Mm-hmm.
And as they head down this passage, Dodo tries calling out to the dolls one final time. And this time, back in the chair room, the cupboard door opens and the 3 ballerina dolls exit the cupboard and follow after Steven and Dodo as the words, "Next episode, the dancing floor," appear on screen.
Cool. Well, I mean, ballerinas do seem like the sort of thing you'd want on a dancing floor. But what's the vibe that we're getting off of these dolls? Like, is it like, oh, good, we have three helpers now, or like, they are coming?
I would say kind of halfway between those.
Okay.
It's more like,
Fair enough.
Interesting. What are they gonna do?
And are these now people, like in costumes, or are they like marionettes, or?
So in the reconstruction, they were basically, I think they're still like actual dolls, like, you know, large dolls or marionette type things. In the reconstruction, it was just sort of like the cutout of the photo of each one statically moving.
Well, you do what you can with what you got, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm into I'm still into the overall premise here. Clowns notwithstanding. Whatever happened to the knave, by the way? Was he just hanging out for the last part of that scene?
He leaves with the Joker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jove ship's gotta go.
Right.
They got making out to do.
That's just an episode
They gotta
wrap.
shuffle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when the Joker quits his job and the Knave leaves with him, that's the episode wrap on the Jove ship.
Okay, cool. Well, this is a fun one.
Yeah.
Did you have any other notes for us, Kyle?
I don't think so. Just, other than that, the Doctor seems to still be on vacation.
Yep. Well, in that case, we'd like to thank Circuit 23 for the awesome theme song that he made for us. You can find his album on Bandcamp, and you can find his other music on SoundCloud. Oh, and I think last time I forgot to say, but you can email him at circuit.23@gmail.com. Thank you, Kyle, for watching Doctor Who and telling me all about it.
And thank you, Benny, for listening to me talk all about Doctor Who.
And thank you, listeners, for listening to me, listening to Kyle talk about Doctor Who. We'd love to hear from you. Please write to us at thedoctorswatcher@gmail.com. Leave us a 5-star review and tell a friend.
And we all know that the 9th Doctor dances come back in 2 weeks to find out if the first does on the
There you
dancing
go.
floor.
There's your cliff dangler. Bye.
Bye.
You know, I feel very foolish talking to a playing card.
A playing card?
Well, aren't you?
Dodo, it's useless talking to them. They're just products of the toy maker's imagination.
They're as real as you are. Henry,
Yes, madame.
come here.
Yes, madame.
Let this wretched child feel your arm.
Feel my arm?
There, child. Isn't that an arm? Not much of one, I grant you, but nevertheless, a real arm. It is. Think that means something of people. See this arm?
I'll take your word for it.
Look, if you're real people, what are you doing here? And why are you wearing those ridiculous clothes?
Oh, yes, well, it would take a little too long to explain, my boy. The fact is that we are victims of the toy maker, the same as you are. For instance, if I were to sit in this chair...
Henry, no!